I'm Amelia Antonetti, and this is CMO Club TV. And I'm with Chris Moloney from Wells Fargo Advisors. Welcome to the summit.
Thank you, glad to be here.
So there is inspiration all around. We hear that word. What is marketing here at the summit? What are they doing about innovation? And is there any ahas going on in innovation?
I think the big one right now is that social media has been such a hot topic and such a buzz for many years. What we're now beginning to do is actually tie that back to measurable results that it has for marketing and the role that social media can have in creating new client relationships and deepening your existing client relationships. We've talked about it for a long time. We believed in it as marketers, and now we're able to show results within our organizations all the way to the C-suite that's helping us to get funding and more energy around those initiatives.
So we always talk about the aha moment, that thing that happens that your brain actually skips a beat. Was there one for you that you saw today you were like, oh no, all right?
The challenges that a lot of companies have had in order to get funding for new marketing initiatives is you're always competing against what are you going to cut or what are you going to decrease from the past. With a lot of the social media and digital metrics that we're getting now, we're able to say there's these new things that deserve to be funded independent of cutting anything. They're net new initiatives that can drive growth for the organization. And we had a session earlier downstairs where we were talking about different companies and how they measure results for social media and digital and how they're bringing in new clients and customers using those channels. And the aha for me was that there's a lot more to be had. It's a net gain for marketing that social and marketing are coming together.
Have you found that you have your own signature, and where would I find it?
Okay, well, in terms of getting a group excited, I usually lean on two things. And the first is I always have music involved. So there's always some sort of a musical theme or references to music in everything that I do, because I think that starts to remind people of their passion, their connection, their emotion. Oftentimes it's to a good memory that they've had or something that they've done in the past with friends or maybe even a family moment. People associate music with some great period of their life, usually. And so I try to tap into music as a way for people to be inspired. The second thing you have to do is humor. So I'm Irish and my family spends most of the time hanging around telling jokes. I just spent the weekend with a bunch of family, and it's all about lightening it up and telling jokes and easing up the moment. So whenever we can get out of the office, whenever we can get the team out of the office to talk about what's going on at work and maybe do a happy hour or a lunch out of the office, I find great ideas really come from that. So the two are even great together. If you can combine music and jokes, then you're really in a good spot. I think that is where marketing should be.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be fun. What do you think is the biggest underutilized weapon in the marketing arsenal that we're still not tapping?
A lot of the organizations where I've worked, marketing has been either the second largest budget or the largest budget. So marketing in certain types of organizations has risen to the point where they know it drives the business, and it can be a game changer for a company to build their brand, to understand how to do digital, to do direct client interaction. I think a lot of companies have realized that. The real big game changer is going to come from marketing, which tended to be, the creative side of the brain, really getting folks who understand the analytical side, bridging that gap to be able to say, this is what we're driving to the business. We just recently did a study of how social media, which everyone wants to talk about social media and content creation, and there's a lot of buzz around what's going on in social media, but very few metrics that say, this is really working, this is really driving new accounts. We have dozens of case studies now of examples of multi-million-dollar accounts coming to our organization that started from social media, and that helps us to tell the story internally to get more funding, more resources, more engagement. So I think the engagement of the creative side of what we do with the analytical side of what we do, when that comes together, marketing can really play a big role with an organization.
That's awesome. That's brilliant. So when you came here today on your way, were you coming to find one thing that you could take home with you? What was the one thing you were hoping to bring home from the summit this time?
I think after spending a lot of time in the office, you get caught in the challenges, the budget, the process of the work that we do. When you get to go out like this and talk to other folks and hear other folks' challenges, you look for that one breakthrough moment where you can say, I'm looking at something differently than I have before. And the way that some of the organizations today have talked about approaching customer centricity in a truly more passionate, more exciting way, I think that's a big one for me. An example that I'll give you is when you want to think about the business that you're in and get your people excited about the business that you're in, companies tend to think about their products as being something that we promote or we push. Marketing historically has been something where somebody creates a product and marketing is brought in to go promote that product. We've inverted the model because we have so much information. I can now know on Google what people are searching for that's a solution that I have, and I may not even be marketing it. I know there's demand for it, but I'm not marketing to that demand. I realize that there are great things that we provide and can provide to solve needs for clients that we haven't packaged our marketing to respond to. So it's flipping the model and allowing us to say we're going to look at what our clients are looking for, look at what their needs are, solving their needs, and use what we have to attach to those needs, rather than being an organization that pushes out products or pushes out marketing based on what we think. I really think client centricity is something we'll talk about a lot, but the data now there with Google and all the research that's out there allows you to really do it.
That was an amazing interview. Thank you for all of the insights.
Thank you. I enjoyed it very much.
And that was Chris Moloney,